What's going on, everybody? It's Frito here for Your Overwatch. The Anniversary event is now live. You can unlock any skin from a previous event as well as the new ones that will be showing in the background. Along with that, we'll break down the patch. First major change you're going to notice is that you now can customize the communication wheel, make a separate video about that as well, and the patch notes are in the client, so you always can double check what they recently changed right on the main menu. Now, a lot of the experimental changes did go through, but there's one major new one that we'll get to. First up, though, is the nerf to healing on Ana's biotic rifle by 5. She now only heals 70 damage per dart. I think Reinhardt's and Winston's are going to notice this, especially as they're the ones that pair best, getting a lot of resources from Ana. It is a small number, but it will add up over time, especially in her ult charge rate, and getting those early nanos were really important to enabling your Rein or Winston to destroy things. We'll have to monitor how that nerf pans out. The next change was to Ashe's secondary fire or scoped animation, where it will go into full zoom halfway through the scope animation, not when it reaches its conclusion, which I think is a decent buff beyond just a quality of life fix, because at least for me anyway, utilizing that zoom really helps you zone in on the target and get focused before you fire. So this will make quick scoping a bit stronger, I think. Crazy buff to Bastion went through, where in Sentry, it now takes less bullets to gain that max spread reduction, only 40, and the overall spread is decreased by 10%. And on his self-repair, although the resource does drain faster, you're not going to miss the old version because you heal quite a lot more, 90 healing per second. Okay, that is incredible, because remember, his teammates can heal him and help him too, which is going to make Bastion way harder to take down. Look out, ranked players. You'll probably want to check out the channel for different how to counter Bastion videos if you are struggling with this. We may even have to make some new ones, because this new version is going to take more teamwork than before to take down. Otherwise, it says here that D.Va, for whatever reason, lost the ability to maintain her aim pitch while demeching. Now that has returned, so you can line up that bunny blaster ahead of time as you're getting out of the mech. Quite sizable change to Doomfist, which I think is going to be a bit controversial. First one, kind of mundane. It allows you to hold down ability 2, or Seismic Slam, to use it immediately, which is common among many abilities, but the other two changes are going to be very different to what you know. There's a buff and a nerf at the same time. Now, when you use the aerial Seismic Slam, or when you're targeting the ground, you no longer get a slight buff in acceleration time, which they say should make it arrive at the destination more reliably, but I think the big nerf here in between the lines is that Doomfist will move slower when using the ability that way. The speed up time is one of the biggest threats he has to dodge a lot of incoming damage. Now he sort of floats in at a reliable speed, making him much easier to interact with for the enemy team. However, they did buff the slam in a different way, where this time the logic of where your targets get bobbled to will more reliably put them in front. So they describe it as when landing very close or on top of an enemy, the enemy will now be pushed in front or away from Doomfist slightly, instead of sometimes them ending up beside or behind Doomfist. If you remember way back in the day, this is a similar change that they toyed around with Roadhog's hook. Many times, in fact, they changed where the target lands after hook. Well, Slam now is kind of similar, where when you hit it on someone, it's more reliable that they get lined up for your follow-up shots than they were before. However, you will be slower when diving in from afar. So I think it's a nerf to higher skilled Doomfists and a buff to lower skilled Doomfists like myself, who weren't as fast anyway and needed that little extra bit of help for following up on the slam. Now the soft CC works in your favor a bit more. Another change is to Echo reduce the height of Echo's head hitbox volume, buffs Echo quite a bit, considering hit scans shooting her in the head were one of the biggest deterrents to the character. Keep in mind that Mercy got buffed in this patch as well, so Echo's looking on the up. Next up, the Junkrat buffs went through. On Ricochet, his frags now bounce off things faster, making bank shots better, and the concussion mine, when you throw it at someone and hit them directly, it now doesn't bounce off them as harshly as before, and its projectile speed is increased a lot. But that's going to make Junkrat's dueling capabilities a lot better than before, especially as he's got 2 mines ready to go, and they go really quick. Just with them alone, he can secure a kill, so quite a big buff in my opinion, actually. And as well, keep in mind, if you're playing against Junkrat, his Total Mayhem passive, where he drops bombs after death, now they detonate 0.3 of a second faster. They detonate in 0.7 seconds total, and the spread has been increased by 50%, meaning it's going to affect a larger area, so you'll have to respect it a lot more. Next change is Mei's Cryo Freeze now blocks line of sight just like Wall would, which means you can hide behind her to protect yourself from a self-destruct. Those old Mythbuster videos from 2016 now don't apply. And a buff to Mercy comes through, 5 more healing, which sort of on the other end of Ana. Now, Mercy's ultimate will charge a bit faster, as well as all the characters she likes to pocket will be slightly more tanky. The rework to Moira went through, where her Biotic Orb has its move speed increased, which is a buff or a nerf depending how you look at it. It was quite lethal, lingering slowly in an area, controlling that space, and now you can kind of actually skill orbit a bit, where you actually aim it where you're intending it to go, rather than expecting it to hold space for you. But the big nerfs to me is the combination of the damage radius of it going down to 4 meters in a sphere, remember, so that's every angle. It's easier to get away from now. 5 meters was a very long distance. But overall, the projectile duration has been reduced from 10 seconds to 7. This does nerf the damage variant more than the healing variant because, well, when you toss a healing orb at a teammate at close range, they use most of its effects immediately, whereas the tail end of its duration more cleaned up kills when using the damage variant at long distance. But still, I do think it's going to drop her healing output as well as Coalescence charge rate a bit, because you won't be able to sit on those damage orbs in a brawl at close range as long as you used to. They're just going to disappear. Another buff came through to Reinhardt, where the head hitbox on the German brawler has been lowered, making it harder to hit him from behind. Now his shoulders are going to invade on that hitbox. And the last buff is to Zenyatta, where the Discord orb goes up by 5% to its original value of 30%, but keep in mind, they never reverted the buffs to his primary fire. Originally, when they did all of these Discord orb changes, they buffed up his normal orbs to compensate for the Discord orb going down. Well, now he's got the benefit of both back in the game. So Zen's gonna be able to put out some serious pressure, as well as return to the glory, where Discord orb would really enable especially flanker heroes or a focus fire character like Winston, who can focus down a target through enemy defenses and chase them down. But that's everything for the patch notes, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please be sure to leave it a like. It really does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and be sure to hit the bell icon to actually get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description is our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, and dank memes. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. We'll see you guys next time.